Okay, so it's episode 6 of Mockpod. Let's
We're going to
cheers
cheers.
to whiskey.
Yeah, with a lovely Japanese whiskey. Do you know what is it? What do the Japanese say?
Hibiki.
Cheers. Hibiki. Okay.
No, that's just the brand.
Yeah. So what's been happening?
Nothing much, but just getting back into swimming because in Australia here now it's September and saltwater swimming pools are open again, and because they close for 4 months of the year over winter.
Sucks that they close. I reckon they should just open.
And what's been really fun is diving back into the pool. The meditative quality of or aspect of just following that black line like a chicken walking a line. It's just it's amazing. Just being able to swim lap upon lap of breaststroke, easy pace, no exertion, just relaxed breath. And like I said, you don't hear anything around you. You don't feel anything other than the water. It's pretty luscious. I don't know.
It's a soup. All right, so I think it's great. The swimming as an activity is just
What do you get out
such
of
a
it?
beneficial one. I think that zoning out sort of period as well.
You also manage to zone out. Some people don't do it. Some people say it's boring. I find running boring, but
I do find running boring as well, which is weird because running actually your scenery does change. I mean, I guess it depends where you run. I mean,
yeah, but you can't enjoy the scenery because you're so focused on like dangers like a car hitting you.
Well, okay, so running through a city is a little bit different than running through Colorado.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So it depends where you run, I think.
Yeah. So if
I think running's great, it's just not for me.
Some nice areas, it'd be good. But but the funny thing is, I guess the fact that the view doesn't change in swimming really, like you're not seeing anything different. So
no, but that's the meditative aspect.
Exactly right. So like you said, even if you're not trying to, what you end up kind of doing is you just focus on that line or the bottom of the pool or whatever, and then
what is
about the world? It's good.
So what is the most fun thing you've done in your life to stay fit? Like what is just in terms of health and sport? Like what's the most fun that you've had?
I mean, I've done a few things. I guess I think the one that lingers as the most fun always is just going to always be martial arts because. It's an activity that you can do. I mean, it is a sport as well, but it's just something that, I mean, we've been interested since we were kids, stuff, of self-improvement and of body awareness and body mastery, all that sort of stuff's always been the most fun to me. Like, if you can do something where you're learning how to do something better or, how to handle your body better.
The aspect of martial arts that makes it unique is the fact that it is in our DNA, fighting that is. Like Dana White from the UFC says, basically, as a kid, like you play fight, right? You play fight, you get your swords or whatever, and especially in the era of Game of Thrones now. Yeah, any kid growing up, they're gonna play fight, right?
Yeah,
and so I think there's something inherent in our DNA which makes us, I guess, want to fool around with conflict at that level. Now, when you practice martial arts, I mean, I think most people stay in the room or playing. Training's another thing altogether, and then obviously fighting's quite like the real thing.
Yeah, because you're training for a purpose.
Yeah, but I think the edginess of conflict, that's something that makes it real fun when you play it safely.
Well, what about you? Would you say something has been more fun even than that?
Yeah, well, just relating to that is I remember seeing Jean-Claude Van Damme as a youngster, the most awesome splits.
JCVD.
If you ever see Time Cop where he jumps onto a kitchen bench.
I have seen that.
In the corner.
It's quite vivid actually in my memory.
That was an inspirational moment for me. Because
in fact, what's quite funny is that there are 3 really strong visual memories I have of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
JCVD.
Splits.
Yeah.
One is that one.
Yep.
The second is, I think it's in Bloodsport where he's in between 2 trees, like palm trees, and his legs are tied up to these palm trees.
Yeah.
And he's getting ripped in half, but he's doing splits.
And the third?
And the third is the Volvo splits.
Where
he does
in the TV ad.
It's a beautiful ad where
he contemplates life.
He contemplates his own life.
His soul, basically.
His soul is bare to the camera, and it was fantastic. But anyway, sorry, going back to it, splits. Yeah.
Just trying to achieve the splits as a youngster.
Yeah. And you can do the splits essentially now.
Pretty close to it, except for the fact, pretty close to it. But the thing is this, that what's interesting is, when you set yourself this unimaginable goal and then just trying to pursue it every which way, and at the time there wasn't a lot of you got a lot of resources now on the internet, but I was just referring to books and first-hand experience. And
it was old school. Yeah, you had to actually research this stuff yourself.
Yeah, I just used milk crates, and the milk crates did a great job, and I think it's still one of the golden things,
Oh, the fabled milk crate. It's
very helpful in terms of trying to hit the right spots. We're talking about food just tonight, about dinner.
Yeah.
As we're recording this, and I was thinking about the foulest foods you've ever tried. Not actually thought of, but actually tried.
Oh yeah.
Well, what are they?
Well, you know me. I love pretty much all food. Like,
That's true. You don't have any such thing as a foul
eater,
food.
But I have eaten some things that I don't really, that don't agree with me. So, I mean, probably the obvious one is going to be durian, which is...
same.
Yeah, for a lot of people who don't know, it's really
Southeast Asian fruit.
Yeah, Southeast Asian pungent fruit that... It's kind of like in this massive... it's quite big. It's like a bowling ball sort of size thing with this green kind of bumpy exterior.
Pineapple-ish in its look.
Yeah, but when you open it up, it's got these crazy, weird... soft kind of parts to it that are the flesh of the fruit.
Well, apparently you can't even... Oh, you remember when we travelled through Southeast Asia, you can't bring it into hotels because it's so smelly.
They have signs on the taxis that say certain things like no spitting, no swearing, no durian.
No durian.
And they have that on there as well. But
totally understand.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird experience too, because when I remember buying it and it's like this, again, really soft kind of weird texture. So when you eat it, it's just it's kind of wrong.
What about camel meat? You ever had camel meat?
Camel meat? No, I haven't.
So I had it in Dubai, right?
Oh,
and it was so well seasoned. I loved it.
Oh.
So I tried it here in a camel sausage form.
Okay.
And obviously they didn't season it the right way, and you know what? It didn't work for me. Too gamey.
Oh, okay. So it was
tough and gamey.
So what happened when you had it in Dubai? Was it like beef? Or?
They did it. Yeah, it ended up like really well seasoned beef. I mean, you were talking to me about kangaroo meat the other day. You had some kangaroo meat.
Yeah, I don't eat kangaroo too much, but
you seasoned it so well. You gave me a bit of a try. It worked.
Yeah, so as long as you season the hell out of it, it works. Yeah.
Yeah, but so is there anything that you know of that you want to try that you imagine to be foul?
Oh, there's a few things. I mean, whether or not I really want to eat this, I don't know, but
tell me what
stuff like eating a tarantula, for example, like would that interest you?
No, because
I mean, apparently it's quite nice. Like it's like a crustacean, like
but I don't know. I guess is that a
you have that sort of thought between like.
But is that like eating scorpions in Thailand? Is it just one of those things that tourists do? Or
I think it is something that the native like Indonesians or something do. Or there's somewhere in Southeast Asia that does it. Yeah,
I'm more interested in like things that are legit. Like for example, Jamie Oliver, he introduced this fermented tin fish. I think it's called strömming. Have you heard of strömming?
Strömming, no. I've heard of lutefisk.
No, so strömming is it's basically fermented tin fish, and the bacteria sort of produces this really rotten hydrogen sulfide smell and acetic acid. So there's vinegary.
So it smells like rotten eggs.
It's foul. Yeah. And you have to consume outside. It's so foul.
Okay,
like not indoors.
Yeah. So does he serve this in one of his
one of his shows? No, one of his shows exposed this, and I don't know. I've always wanted to try it since, but I haven't. I thought you've got some Scandinavian friends.
So I've got some Scandinavian friends.
I've tried it.
Affectionately, I call them Scandos. And they told me about a thing that they have at Christmas time called lutefisk.
What's that?
Which is basically where they get some sort of mountain caught fish. Like they've got all these fish in these beautiful mountain streams up there, and they put it in like some sort of crazy acid for like 6 weeks or something like that.
What's that for? Just to sort of like
it turns it to mush.
It
like it turns it to craziness. And I don't know. Like I don't know exactly what it is, so they put it in.
Makes me think of a scan.
I think it might be this caustic soda. Is that acid?
I don't know.
Yeah, but they put it in caustic soda. I'm pretty sure, and they just put this thing in. And anyway, on Christmas Day, apparently they open it up and eat it. Yeah. It'll be interesting to try. I'm sure if I visit around Christmas time, that someone will maybe. I don't think it's very common, but someone will be able to source one.
Can I ask you, like, if we went to the Philippines and then we saw some balut?
Oh, you want the chicken in the egg?
It's
the
embryo. the fertilized duck or chicken egg.
Yeah.
Would you try it?
Look, I'd share one with you.
It looks disgusting.
It looks pretty bad. It's pretty sad as well. I think it's kind of like this. I mean, we do make this.
But it's funny. But exactly because it's not grown. All of a sudden we're okay to eat it.
Well, I guess we
form.
link it to the idea of.
But it looks disgusting.
Some sort of baby.
I link it to Ridley Scott's Alien.
It's a little bit like that.
It looks exactly like Ridley Scott's Alien. So that's why I can't eat a balut really. But I'd watch you eat it.
You wouldn't do it?
Well, I may do
I
it.
reckon you'd have a nibble.
Well, under pressure.
Well, no, because I
under
reckon,
your influence, I would probably.
Let's put it this way. I think what would end up happening is we'd open it up. We'd both eat part of it
and then vomit.
that contains that contains like some sort of more eggy component.
Apparently, it's like chicken stock. The fluid in it is like chicken stock. No, really. If you ask people who have eaten it, and then when you dip into the yolk, it's really creamy. It's a really.
But you know what?
It's a very tasty delight. Apparently delicacy.
I think the thing I want most though is just for some sort of local to explain to me just the sort of reason I guess behind it. Like if there is a reason, or if it's just because.
Does food always have a reason? I guess.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I mean, like.
So, tell me, have you been thinking of anything? I don't know, about life this week, or I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, I haven't been thinking about anything. I've just been really busy. I've had 4 days basically for this week, so it's been.
You've been consumed with work.
Yeah, a lot of work. So yeah, how about you? Have you
been busy like you? I guess it makes me think of like how important me time is. I mean, people talk about it, and we laugh about it and have conversations, but I think it's actually been proven to be really important for developing, self-evaluation, decision-making, just de-stressing, right?
Yep.
And
just like recentering.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, how much me time do you need? And what do you do for me time?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think you need a significant amount of me time, to be honest. I'd say, like, at a rough guess, a minimum of a day a week in total.
I was going to say, you're looking at it on a weekly level. I almost think me time every day.
Yeah, on a daily level, I think.
Not that it's easy to happen.
I think on a like.
So you're saying 1 day a week you need me time?
I'm trying to be realistic because
that's realistic.
Because the thing is, I guess, like everything in life, that if you don't have the ability all the time to just step back and kind of look at your life and reevaluate things and just kind of look at yourself and just make sure everything's going well, But like, do you distract yourself, or do you think about things? I guess is what I'm getting at. Oh, during me time?
Yeah.
Well, I think that totally depends on why you need it in that particular time. Yeah, I don't think it's always going to be the same thing. I mean, I certainly think. I certainly think just. A lot of people would choose to relax and just do nothing in that sort of time, which is
I think that's really valid,
which is fine. Yeah, I mean, like, as you know, like I've over the years played some games and stuff, and like just computer games and things, and it's a very good distraction.
Hey, computer games have been proven to at times within certain amounts improve problems.
Because
so can I ask then, how successful are you achieving your 1 day of me time a week?
Like my overall 1 day, so there's 24 hours in a week is what I'm saying.
Oh, so what you're saying is cumulatively 1 day. So you look at it from that point of view.
Yeah. So if I can spend 1 day each week of just for myself
doing stuff,
then that's pretty good. That's basically how it breaks down for me. Love for movies.
One of the best things I find is just indulging in some genre that you love, like horror. So I was just thinking about horror movies recently because I rewatched Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And I thought it was really, like I said, a revolutionary film for the 90s. It was made sort of like a decade after the original Nightmare. And I was thinking of other great horror films.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do remember being introduced at a pretty early age, probably by either yourself or one of our uncles or something like this.
To what?
To Hellraiser. I think that was one of the earliest ones.
That would have been me.
And it was a very good introduction, though, to the horror genre because, I'd imagine, it's an iconic film, and the character, like all the characters, but especially the title character, Pinhead.
Yeah.
It's still so. I think I've only seen it once or twice, and it's still so clear again in my memory.
Stretching of the skin was a major element.
Yeah, when he, because I think he was a butcher or something like that, but when he was becoming Pinhead, all these hooks flying from the walls on these chains at his flesh and tearing his flesh away and stuff.
Yeah,
it's brutal. It's so like it's still one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen. Like,
I believe because relating to the meat hooks and flesh, I believe the tagline was he'll tear your soul apart. So that that verb tear as a as a link to what happens in the film. But I think the modern day equivalent to that blood and guts of Hellraiser is the Human Centipede. Have you?
Oh God!
What do you think about the Human Centipede? It's entered folklore now, but I mean, I think it's incredible horror.
I think the first one is conceptually.
Well, that's what we're talking
incredible
about,
for sure.
First one.
I don't think the others should have been made at all. But
we're just talking about
the first one. I actually thought it was incredible.
Why? Why was it incredible?
Well, it was incredible just because of the sheer ridiculousness and craziness
Can you just
of the
describe the premise, please? Can you just describe the premise, please?
It's it's very difficult. It's very difficult to describe, especially when
I'm trying to give you a clue.
See these visual cues. They're not good.
I'm trying to give you some clues. It might help you describe it.
I think most people know by now.
Or I beg to differ. I don't think people all know about it.
I do believe people know about it.
Can you just give me the basic premise, though?
Well, the basic premise is that the Human Centipede is 3 people conjoined.
How do they happen to be joined, though?
Surgically.
How are they joined?
Oh, you'd say from, their oral...
What is it you're on about? Can you just explain the premise?
I don't really know how to say it. I think you should say it.
Wait, what do you mean? You've got a medical background. I think you know exactly how to say it.
No, I think you should say it.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see whether you've actually seen it.
Well,
I don't know if you've seen it. I think you need to prove to me that you've seen it.
Maybe I've seen a different thing than you. What have you seen?
Well, I know what I've seen, but I'm just trying to see what you've seen.
I don't think I've seen it.
Okay, well, let's talk about another film now. Remakes. I tell you what, everyone talks about remakes nowadays, and most of them are terrible, but one of the greatest is David Cronenberg's 1986 movie, The Fly.
The Fly.
It's such an emotional film because it's a dark horror, of
course. Are you talking about the one starring Jeff Goldblum? Is that
Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis? I mean, they were an item at the time.
That's the remake, right?
Yeah, that's the remake.
Yeah, it has
of a Vincent Price.
Yeah,
original.
that was amazing. Right? That I don't know if I've seen the original.
But don't worry about the original. I'm just talking about the remake.
But that remake was Jeff Goldblum. Man, it was again just so well done.
Were you moved by it? I actually found it
moved by it. Yeah,
it's a horror love story.
And this guy he obviously regrets doing all of it, and but he can't stop all these changes.
So basically,
so many good scenes in it.
It's about a scientist who wants to design 2 telepods where a human can teleport themselves from one location to another. And in the experiment, which is basically successful, unfortunately a fly gets in the hatch. So as the DNA is transported across from one pod to another, I mean, this is the premise of the film. Essentially, he emerges with a fly.
It mixes his DNA. It crosses his DNA.
And then, the woman who cares for him and all that goes through all these, I guess, trials, tribulations.
The other interesting one I just wanted to quickly bring up was what I regard for the first half as potentially the most enjoyable horror film to watch ever. For good reason. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember the reason, but do you remember Hostel by Eli Roth?
Yeah, Hostel's pretty good. I mean, I know...
Do you remember what was happening in the first half of the film, roughly?
Not really. Can you tell me?
It was just a bunch of lads going on a Euro trip. And they were having a lot of Euro trip fun. Yeah. So I'm watching the first half of this film going, this is fantastic.
Oh, that's right. It took a big turn before it
about halfway, and I was like, "This is the best horror film I've ever seen." And then when everything started to hit the fan, man, it was rough.
I think it was a great film. I mean, that belongs to the torture porn
it does,
genre as well. Yeah. But going backwards into psychological horror and things like Martyrs is a French film. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
And it's going to be remade in America, I believe. It came out 2008. And it was incredible for the massive... I don't want to give anything away, but there was a massive twist at the end. And I think it's like a horror film that leads you a certain way. You don't really know its secret until its end. I think that revelatory moment makes it, all right?
Is that a spoiler in itself to say that there's a twist?
Yeah, it probably is, yeah.
But I guess it's like if you go see an M. Night Shyamalan film, you expect it to have a twist.
Yeah, he's pretty old. It's been interesting having a chat this week. We might make it short and sweet, I think. And
all right, let's call it.
Yeah, two brothers and a microphone.